Fortnite's got a ton of variety when it comes to its weapons, items, and features, but believe it or not, there's a lot more things that were in the game originally that either got scrapped or simply never made the cut and were removed very early on in Fortnite's life cycle. Like, for instance, the incredible Magic 7 damage gun. Now, you might be wondering what exactly this weapon does. Well, I'm glad you asked. Oh wait, what's that? You didn't ask? You don't want to know what the Magic 7 damage gun does. Oh, I see. Well, this has been, don't forget to keep it here on Top 5 Gaming. Well, anyway, this weapon does approximately 7 damage point blank to the face. Oh, you know, now that I think about it, this gun may actually still be in Fortnite right now. I think this has to be like my 5th attempt telling Epic Games about this. So at this point, I think we can just assume that Epic Games are ignoring me. So like the video and try and tell Epic that we need shotgun consistency. But in the meantime, here's some things that Fortnite removed. Welcome back to Top 5 Gaming, everyone, where today we'll be breaking down the top 5 things removed from Fortnite, Part 2. If you guys want to check out our Part 1, I'll leave that video in the description below, but if you subscribe to the channel, you'll find a chug jug in the next chest that you open in Fortnite. Let's get into it. Number 5, guided missiles. When the guided missile was first added into Fortnite Battle Royale, people were really worried. I mean, who wouldn't be worried about a rocket launcher that you could basically move around the map wherever you wanted? It turns out that people who were worried were pretty much right too, because before long, Epic Games had removed the guided missile from the game. There was a simple reason for doing this too. The thing just ended up being far too strong. While in previous patches, the end of a game was usually either a tactical event with 2 people trying to outbuild each other to get the win, or a brutal and speedy bloodbath with everyone fighting it out to the death instantly, the introduction of the guided missile changed things up quite a bit. Instead of people rushing each other down to secure the final kill, you just had people standing way back behind mountains or behind a couple of walls, shooting out guided missiles without enemies even knowing where they were coming from. It made the game pretty unfun in a lot of different ways, and even when the guided missiles were nerfed to have a slower travel speed, they were still too strong. So realizing they had a pretty tough balancing issue on their hands, Epic just removed them instead. Whether they'll be added in the future is completely unknown. Number 4, Sniper Shootout Playlist. Snipers are a pretty unique weapon when it comes to Fortnite Battle Royale. Anything in the sniper class of weapons, which at the moment includes bolt-action rifles and scoped sniper rifles, has bullet drop. All the other weapons work based on hit scan, which means that snipers are in general a lot harder to use. Well, Sniper Shootout was a game mode where these harder to use weapons, and sometimes some revolvers, were the only things that could be picked up. This limited time mode worked pretty much exactly the same as a normal game of Fortnite Battle Royale. 100 people drop into the map and 1 squad walks out. The only real difference is the fact that there are no weapons other than snipers. This mode basically tries to answer the age-old question of what would happen if everyone in the early game tried to quickscope all of their enemies to death. The answer is a lot of people jumping around and missing each other awkwardly. There's no doubt that eventually this LTM will come back, but by then it will be the 3rd version and the 1st version will never return. Number 3, the Zapper Tron. The Zapper Tron has practically become a myth in the Fortnite community. The weapon is a laser sniper that is now only available in Save the World. No one really knows why the Zapper Tron was added into the game, only to be taken out of it again pretty much instantly, but most people seem to think that Epic Games considered the gun to be way too powerful compared to everything else in the game. There are some rumors, however, that say that the Zapper Tron was just added into the game by accident, and as soon as Epic realized their mistake, they got rid of it. Either way, the Zapper Tron was a weapon that could only be found in airdrops, making it one of the rarest weapons in the game while it was able to be used. The gun was a laser sniper, a long-range weapon that zoomed in like a hunting rifle but had no bullet drop-off. It could even be charged by holding the fire button for more powerful shots. Of course, the gun sounds seriously strong, so it's probably never going to end up being added back to the game. The only way you'll ever be able to use it is by getting it in Save the World. Number 2, the original 50v50 playlist. For some people, 50v50 is probably the best mode in Fortnite Battle Royale, even better than the original Battle Royale mode that the game was released with. It's a no-holds-barred war between 2 teams of 50, which usually ends up with massive forts being built and the 2 teams desperately trying to gain ground against each other. People love this game mode so much that they actually wanted to make it a permanent addition to Fortnite, but the people at Epic thought that rotating it out would keep the mode feeling fresh. The main problem everyone had with the original 50v50 LTM was that way too many people died at the beginning of the game, which ended up throwing the momentum of the rest of the game off completely. Epic have tried to fix that a little bit, but people seem even angrier angrier than ever at the new game mode, hating it because everyone steals your weapons and chests, leaving you to bleed out, and the 2 different spawn buses means that one team has more advantages than the other. Who knows though, if Epic had managed to make things right with 50v50 v2, they might have been able to make it a permanent game mode, but as it stands, things probably need to be changed up even further.
One of the biggest things I've found in Fortnite is that generally people are dickheads, so that when you down, the random people that are on your team are not going to bother picking you up. Why would you bother picking that person up when you can let them bleed out, take their scar, and then move on and get more kills for yourself? I think what they need to add in 50v50 is like some option where you can't take a dead teammate's weapons, like if they bleed out, or something along the lines of maybe just like increased experience for reviving players.
And number 1, the Crossbow. The Crossbow, recently added in a patch on Valentine's Day in February, has now been stuck into the vault and removed from Fortnite Battle Royale. The weapon was taken out of the game alongside the new Season 4 update, and while it wasn't the biggest change in the world, it's still pretty impactful, and I think it's safe to say that the Crossbow is a pretty useless weapon, even though it had unlimited ammo, and it had basically no sound when it fired a shot. The crappy damage and terrible drop-off on your shots made the gun practically unusable. Now, players can open chests without having to worry about receiving a terrible crossbow. Well, for now at least. Epic Games has always said that if the time is right, they would consider adding weapons that they had put into the vault back into the weapon rotation. But when it comes to the crossbow, that probably won't ever happen because according to data miners who have searched through the game files, the crossbow might be getting a bit of an upgrade. I mean, with an explosive crossbow on the way. Do we even need a regular one anymore? Maybe that's why Epic Games got rid of it in the first place. Either way, this has been our list of the top 5 things removed from Fortnite Battle Royale Part 2. If you guys know of any other things that got removed from Fortnite that you guys missed, make sure to leave it in the comment section below, and also make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like down below if you've enjoyed. Other than that though, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and don't forget to keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.